Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. We've got a different guest for you every week, somebody that we think is pretty important in the community that we think you'd probably like to get to know a little bit more. And this is brought to you by the great folks at Hy-Vee, both in Osage Beach and Jefferson City. And our guest today, Chris Wagner with the Wagner Insurance Agency. Thanks for taking the time.
You know, I've been seeing you guys' setup here. It's really cool. I'm really happy to be a part of this.
Yeah, and you were telling us earlier, you've actually been on the air at Lake TV. You did some football games and stuff with Will.
Yeah, we've done some stuff at Osage when we did the halftime kick and did some sponsorships and stuff. And Will brought me up in the booth and we did some fun stuff there. So.
You know, and you're making me look bad because you got that face for TV and everything, you know. So
I don't know about that. But.
So Chris Wagner, Wagner Insurance Agency. So you are huge as far as insurance goes here in the Lake area. I first noticed you with some of the community service that you do, specifically the polar plunge, right? I'm watching Lake TV's coverage of the polar plunge, and there's one guy that's jumping in like every hour, and that's you.
Yep.
Wow, that takes something. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, so I think what's really cool about farmers in general, when I started as an agent, you know, one of the things they really instill in you is like give back to your community, and that's very important. And I think if you're in a position that you can give back to your community or you're able to do that, that you absolutely should. And so we've been involved with a lot of things. You know, my wife is on the board for the Community Foundation of the Lake, and we do a lot of stuff with the shootout, a lot of volunteering there, running the Start Boat. My wife does the shootout guide. So we're heavily involved in a lot of things, but the polar plunge just kind of came along as one of the very first things I did in 2009, right when I started. I started in late 2008, and somebody said, hey, you should do this, and it's for a good cause, and I'm like, okay. And so they had the once an hour for 24 hours, and you had to raise so much money to do it instead of just you just raise $75 and do the one plunge.
Right.
And so we did it and raised the money, and ever since, this will be my 14th year doing that.
Wow.
Which is, there's only like 15 of us that usually do it every time and have been back. But
do you dread that every year?
No, you know, it's good. It's good camaraderie. We've got a lot of people, you know, law enforcement people, teachers, just a lot of really good community people that love giving back to that cause. And I love that goes back to Missouri. It's Special Olympics Missouri. Every dollar is spent to help those people on the district, national, regional level.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to see those athletes have the ability to do something with their life.
Have you ever caught a cold or something from jumping in the polar plunge every hour?
Yeah, we've broken ice to get in. I mean, it's, you name it. It's fun though. It's all for a good cause, and the community has really supported us every year.
Yeah, it's one of those really cool things in the community, and one of those things that makes this community so special.
Absolutely.
Just like the the shootout and all that. So, are you a Missouri guy? Did you grow up here, or did you come from outside?
Yeah, so I think what's really cool about the lake, and one of the things my wife and I really love about the lake, is everybody usually is not always from here. Like there's a lot of transplants and people are from somewhere else, so that makes it really interesting. People are here because they want to be here. They're not here because they're stuck in a job that they don't like. You know, there's people moving here every day. So I'm originally from here, from Warsaw. So at the 90-mile marker, yep, I'm actually from Warsaw. And when my dad was a pastor and took a call to Northern Illinois when I was 14, so 94, and then in 2006 I was working construction, and I was a union pipe fitter, and I was like, man, I really want to move back to Lake of the Ozarks. So I moved back. Had a couple condos here that we were renting out, and just was always kind of looking for something different. Yeah. And farmers had an ad, hey, if you're moving to the lake and want to start a new career, let us know. So I was working 10 hours a day construction, selling insurance at night, and then I finally got to the point where I was like, I really want to make this jump. And so I literally quit my really good union job cold turkey and started the agency from scratch, and here we are 12 years later.
Well, it's worked out for you because you are in the top 1% of farmers agents.
I'd say that we've been very fortunate. I will say that. The community is great, farmers is great, but obviously there's a lot of work that goes into it. Yeah. But we are now at 9 staff, and so we're just very blessed to be a part of this community. But yeah, we've been lucky to be, commercial agent of the year in Missouri 3 separate times. Special agent of the year, which is, the boats, RVs, doing that kind of product.
Okay, so. You don't have to wear guns to be a special agent, right?
That's right. Yeah.
007 over here.
That's right, yeah. So.
Well, that's cool. I mean, top 1% of all farmers agents is pretty amazing.
Yeah, there's, I think, 13,000 farmers agents now.
Yeah.
So we really work hard to try and take care of our customers and specialize in different aspects of insurance. Mm-hmm. We really want to be the best at everything we do and the most knowledgeable. And there's a lot of different coverages that people don't understand what they're buying. And insurance always seems like, well, we want to make sure we're getting the best rate. Absolutely, rate and premium is important.
Yeah.
But compared to what, right? I want to make sure that you understand what you're buying, And a lot of times people come in and be like, did you know about this? Do you know about that? No, I didn't understand. I didn't have that. You know, a lot of things like collapse on docks. That's a very high target conversation when we're here. You know, weight of ice and snow can collapse your dock. A lot of companies cover it. A lot of them don't. So, you know, having those specific coverage conversations and really educating our customer on what they're actually buying, they really walk out of it going, man, that was really, really good. And
right.
A lot of times we give them better coverage and save them money.
So, and you know, I mean, the insurance industry is huge, top 10 in the country, I'm sure. Why is insurance so important? I mean, because some people just say, you know, insurance, but I mean, there's a reason why it's such a huge industry.
Sure. At the end of the day, I mean, you want to make sure we're covering your assets, right? So if you have worked your whole life for everything you have, we want to make sure we're protecting that liability, that if something ever happened and somebody tried to come after you, that we could protect you. Or if you have a major asset like your home and it burns down or a tornado comes through, we want to make sure that we can replace that and build you a new house.
Right, and you're not just out of luck, basically, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so we're talking with Chris Wagner from the Wagner Insurance Agency, getting to know more about insurance because I'm pretty ignorant when it comes to insurance. And such a cool life. I mean, I ask everybody to you know, give me a bio and stuff like that. I got some cool stuff to tell you about this guy when we come back here on Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show.
Your time on the water is limited, and Hy-Vee in Osage Beach knows it. Let us do the shopping so you can maximize your lake time. With our Aisles online app, you can have your groceries delivered or ready for contactless pickup when you arrive to the lake. With all your grilling favorites, snacks, fresh produce, and home to the lake's largest wine, spirits, and beer department, your weekend at the lake starts with Hy-Vee in Osage Beach, where you'll find a helpful smile in every aisle.
It's our most protective wash yet. Introducing the QuickCar Ceramic Wash. It's an industrial-grade polymer solution with ceramic nanotechnology, resulting in high-end, advanced scientific protection of your vehicle's finish. The QuickCar Ceramic Wash. Try it on its own or with the monthly Unlimited Wash Club today. QuickCar. Quick, easy, and professional every time. In Jefferson City and Osage Beach.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. We are talking with Chris Wagner, Wagner Insurance Agency, WIA. You guys cover just about everything, farmers insurance, including marine stuff.
Yeah, so one of the really unique things about our agency that I feel like sets us apart is we are in 16 different states for farmers. So we do a lot of, hey, you live in Illinois, you live in Iowa, Nebraska, you have a lake house. We can actually bundle all of that and put it all together, save you a bunch of money, and then you only have one place to call.
Huh.
Customers love that.
I didn't know you could go across state lines like that.
So we actually, Farmers Away had to put a business plan together, and people really wanted one place to call. So we're definitely trying to take care of those customers that are either on their way to moving to the lake maybe someday, or they just have a lot of stuff here and they just don't want to have to deal with multiple agencies, because we get that a lot. I mean, their stuff's, they got their car here, their boat here, their house, it's all different places.
Yeah.
And we really try to simplify that process and usually save them a lot of money when we do that. And then, we do a lot of referral stuff with a lot of the big boat dealers here at the lake, and have for a long time, ever since they came and started. And they would be like, hey, I sold a boat over here to New York, or I sold one over here. And so we just kind of kept growing that side. So we started WIA Marine Insurance in 2015, 16, and we just kept growing. And now we're in 40 states with that. And we write a lot of stuff, all up and down the East Coast, the West Coast.
That's a whole lot of tests you got to take,
yeah,
right? To get in different states.
That's right, yeah. But so we definitely want to, we do a lot of just normal boats, but we do a lot of high performance stuff, usually up to 180 miles an hour or more. And a lot of cruisers, a lot of yachts, just depends on where it's at. But we built a really good customer base all over the country and taking care of those people, because that's such a unique market that a lot of people aren't doing. So we, again, really just has kind of grown.
Helps to be at the #1 recreational lake in the world.
Yeah,
right?
that doesn't hurt having that.
So you grew up in Warsaw, moved to Illinois, and so tell us, you sat next to somebody famous in high school.
Yeah, so actually sat next to Danica Patrick in high school during study hall, one of our classes.
She pretty.
Yeah. So I think I was a junior and she was a freshman, but we used to talk about, she was racing go-karts at the time at a little track outside of town, and I was racing motocross, and in our yearbook is actually people that did extracurricular activities, and there's a picture of me doing motocross and her in our go-karts. So,
Really?
yeah, we used to talk about racing and stuff, and then I think right after I graduated, when she was a sophomore or whatever, she went to Europe to do the F1. So.
Right, yeah. I'll be darned. See, I mean, 5 degrees of separation
Yeah.
with Danica Patrick. So was she nice?
Oh yeah, for sure.
okay.
Yeah. But
All right, there you go. She became unnice when she got to be a star.
sure. But I'm sure those things are different in the pressures. But I ran motocross, semi-pro, all over the country.
So you ran yourself.
And then I ended up racing snowmobiles or snowcross on the whole national tour for 3 years. And then over Thanksgiving we were up in Wisconsin and stopped by Green Bay, up at Lambeau. We actually raced in Lambeau Field 2 years in a row.
You did on snowmobiles.
Yeah, it's like 2002, 2003 on snowmobiles. Yep. So it was pretty interesting, pretty fun. But we went all over Quebec and Winnipeg and South Dakota and New York and Michigan and all over the place, and I really loved it. Racing was one of my fondest memories with my family because you're traveling and you're getting to do stuff with them, and I don't know so much. I can't remember every place that I ever got, but I can tell you all the memories that I have with my family.
Was
traveling.
it just snowmobiles, or what all did you race?
So I raced snowmobiles, and then I also raced motocross for
The
since I was a kid.
motorcycles,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Did you ever get hurt?
Oh yeah, I've torn both my knees up and wrists and all kinds of stuff.
Because you see those guys flying around, their knees like that
Yep.
far from the ground, and motocross, they're jumping and.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you look like you got haircut. You look all clean cut, but you're really wild and crazy under.
I would say I'm sort of an adrenaline junkie sometimes. So yeah, I like doing that kind of stuff, and I think it's kind of fun when you're doing this kind of stuff and insuring this kind of stuff. Honestly, we went to Tennessee a couple weeks ago with our kiddos and took them on the side-by-side trails and did all that stuff and the off-road vehicle stuff, and they loved it. And it's just something different.
Are they crazy like you?
I don't know.
They have
Maybe.
that crazy vein.
They're
in
only
them?
3 and 4, so we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. And I mean, you haven't done insurance your whole life, right? I mean, you didn't grow up thinking I want to be an insurance guy. No. You did a lot of stuff before insurance, including welding and pipe fitting. And
Yeah, we
stuff?
did travel around the country doing a lot of welding and pipe fitting, and it was a really good union job. But my dad being a pastor, he was always home. He was always at games, always at all that stuff, and I really want to be able to have that flexibility with my children someday. Mm-hmm. And so that's why we ended up doing something like insurance, where I could have a flexible schedule and not only really help my community, but have ability to help my family out.
Right, and you might not even be the most talented guy in your family because your wife is amazingly talented.
Yep, she is. She's an amazing writer. She's written for Lake Expo and Showcase Publishing, and does the whole editor of the Shootout Guide, and she's just incredible with what she does. And she sits on the Community Foundation of the Lake Board, and really proud with what that organization is doing. Mm-hmm. It's not just going to one charity. There's a bunch of charities that actually supports, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and there's accountability there. You know what I mean? They don't just give them the money; they actually make sure that they're using it correctly. But there's a lot of people that gift stuff to the CFL or start their own little trust within the CFL, and the money goes specifically to that charity. That's a really cool thing. But
I think that's one of the things that makes our area, the lake area, so special. I don't know that I have ever seen a single area that was so big on raising money for charity.
It's incredible. This community gives back like none other than I've ever seen, and we're super supportive of that. I did volunteer in the Lake Ozarks Fire Department for a while, so we continue to support those guys with a lot of stuff, equipment or whatever else they need. They're always asking, for stuff, and we've been blessed to have such a good community like that.
Part of that adrenaline junkie, right? If you were a volunteer fire department, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, jumping into the fires. But you learn as an insurance guy doing stuff like that, I'm guessing you learn a lot about what needs to be covered and stuff.
Yeah, well, and a lot about loss prevention, right? Like how can we help our customers prevent something like that from a tragedy like that happening? I've been through numerous house fires, and I can tell you it is the worst day the customer will ever experience in their life. And just being there for them, just making sure that they get whatever they need. So, I mean, I guess that's another thing about our agency is I know exactly how to take care of our customer. I deal with the majority of the claims in our office. So when stuff comes in, no matter what it is, whether it's small or large, I'm usually the one involved making sure everything gets taken care of correctly. But that's where it really counts. Yeah. I mean, we're fulfilling our promise that you made to us.
So running out of time here, but if folks want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Yeah, sure. 573-302-0001 is easy. 573-302-0001. That's the easiest way to find us.
Chris Wagner, Wagner Insurance Agency. Thanks for coming by.
Hey, man, I appreciate being here. It was great.